But hello, everyone.
It was something.
Welcome to the That's How We Roll channel. Tonight, Misfits of Alseta. This is a D&D 5e actual play, and all the lovely players before you are playing level 10 characters. And before we get to know them, we have a quick announcement with me. Hey, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. It's an idle game that's really fun. And if you put in Kier Vibe Uzi, once again, that's Kier Vibe Uzi, wherever you can get Electrum Chest, you'll get an Electrum Chest. Idle Champions is a great game where you can play lots of really cool characters, even from Baldur's Gate. You've got, I don't know, Hope's new Azamar skin.
She said third person for some reason.
And also I have a familiar that's a capybara, so you should go get it. It's awesome. And yeah, that is our announcement. Onwards to Jacob.
Hey everybody, my name is Jacob Plicque, Duval King Jacob, all over the internet, see him pronouns. Tonight, as per usual, I'll be playing Kotatar. He's a Githzerai Horizon Walker Ranger, also he, him. Got a lovely husband that you can see behind me. And he's great. He's great. Let's shoot some stuff.
I'm number 2. Hi, I'm April, and I play Nira, the Kobold Bard.
You had an announcement, April?
I have an announcement. Have me on your shows, people. I'm a professional. I was ready for this.
Yes, you are.
This Saturday, I'm really excited to announce that we're releasing our new show, SS Batship, over on twitch.tv/doyouvalidate. We're going to be doing a telethon all weekend. So come check out our new game. We'll be doing a Q&A and then a live show on Sunday. There's also a lot of really cool things. If you don't know, Oddity Roadshow is really cool. They're the guys who did Critical Bits. They're awesome. Go check them out. That's me now. Now I'm done.
Kia ora. I'm Daniel Denova. I'm a voice actor and illustrator from New Zealand. You can find me on Twitter, as well as other socials under either Daniel Denova or Tartan Kiwi. I do various things such as this show, which is amazing, and you're here, as well as help out with voice acting for games, animation, whatever. Film. Anyway, my pronouns are fluid, so I'm he, she, her, they, them, and yeah. San Leon is the character I play, who is a rogue barbarian vampire. Who is currently having a family crisis.
Let's see. Crisis is a very, popular thing in this group. I am Dani Gage, pronouns she, her. And you can find me on the internet at Bitterthorn. I'm playing Silva tonight. And Silva is a Fire Genasi Warlock, whose pronouns are also she, her. That's it. I cast spells now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Hello everyone, I'm Damien. I'll be playing Reginald Bellagamba, your favorite Rune Knight Paladin fighter dude. I'm going to do the quick acknowledgement of Indigenous people now. So I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, where I am playing from today, traditional custodians of the land. And I will also pay respect to the lands of the Maori people, Aotearoa, where Daniel is from. And from North America, we have people from the lands of Fernandino, Tetafium, Hohokam, Tumakua, Creek, and Cherokee. And we pay our respects to Indigenous folks all around the world. Hope.
Hello, I'm Hope Lavelle, your dungeon master for the evening, and I think with all of that said, let's roll our intro and get going.
Hope so.
Darkness is falling, through chaos fate is calling, your dreams are haunting you.
All right, a recap. Last episode, we had some great conversations. We had David and San Leon scrying on Axel, supposedly San Leon's younger brother. We also had conversations with San Leon and Kotatar. A really in-depth conversation that was absolutely beautiful. Kotatar had to cry out to Alseta, who did not answer, and
Whatever.
Silva and Reginald had a really great conversation as well. After they decided to leave the town after a night's rest, there was a montage of trekking through the forest, and then they found themselves fighting the Dales, in which they were warned about by a little bird that San Leon talked to. So they were pretty ready whenever they were attacked. The attack didn't go on very long because the Misfits are the Misfits, and they're hard to beat. But the Dales put down their weapons and told them which direction to go to get to Myth Drannor, and that they would be watching. And the Misfits headed on into that direction for a while until they hit an iridescent bubble, like an energy bubble, some sort of shield protecting them from moving any further than in the direction that they were going. Silva took the golden skull and placed it, pushing it into the bubble. And then a voice could be heard through all of your heads saying, "Prepare to be tested." And that is where we pick up. There is a flash of white light, and all of you have now disappeared from the forest, and you find yourselves in a white void. There's nothing here. You see each other, but there is nothing else.
More of this bullshit again. Everyone all right?
You would think
I
that
think
we
so.
were used to this by now.
Oh, I am. Mostly.
It is still quite annoying, though.
Yes.
Nothing's ever easy, is it?
Immediately starts looking out for like mirror versions of himself.
There's statues over there. Where's the ship? Where's the house?
San Leon, you can give me a perception check.
Don't.
No,
Funnily enough, all of a sudden, nothing happened. 24.
As you turn, you're almost startled as you see what almost looks like a statue made of marble. But it's not, it's a woman. An elven woman. Stark white skin, white hair, white dress. She almost doesn't look... Well, like I said, she looks like a statue, and she stands very stoically. Her eyes are completely whited out, as if she is made of marble. She does not regard you all. She does not look at you. But again, in
recognize
your
it?
heads... What's that?
Sorry. I'll ask afterwards.
In your heads, you all hear, and her lips do not move. She asks, "Why are you here? Speak your true intentions."
Do I are features similar to anyone I know, or is the voice similar?
No.
Okay. I just kind of after hearing that go. Well, I suppose in the head or out loud. I'll say it out loud. We are here to stop the nightmare. It is back, and of course, we require armament in order to better combat the darkness that is encroaching on every plane of existence.
Then answer truthfully. And before you all, as you look at her, illusions start to pop up. 3 illusions. 1 is of a butterfly. 1 is of a dragonfly. And 1 is of a ladybug floating in the air. Choose one.
Well,
Can you give us an idea of the colors between the
Sure. Yeah, the butterfly is black and blue, has this iridescent blue on it. The dragonfly has an iridescent green to it. And the ladybug, of course, is red with black spots.
Nira, perhaps don't run over and touch them all. I know you want to, but perhaps we think first.
Nira, who hadn't moved, just looks up and just like shrugs.
I turn to Nira and go, "Yes, Nira. Look at you, vibrating on the spot." In like a sarcastic tone. It is like-
I eat the ladybug. I don't know, and I feel like I have to. I just pick it up and pop it in my mouth.
What, really?
No.
That would be amazing.
I mean,
There is at least a little semblance of self-control in this.
for now.
Not a lot.
Well, blue represents, in color spectrum, order. Red is the heart. I fain remember what green means.
But isn't what they are also represent them?
Yes, but I'm not entirely sure the semblance of bugs, if I'm honest. Maybe possibly the butterfly is the butterfly effect? I don't know.
Kotatar will look at the statuesque, air quotes, elvish woman, I suppose. Just to clarify, are you asking us to choose individually or as a collective?
As a collective.
Kotatar, is it possible to just have a quick look at the ethereal plane to make sure one of these isn't hiding a Tarrasque or something?
You know what a Tarrasque is?
I've seen many in my books, yes.
Many.
Okay, one.
That makes more sense. I suppose so. And he'll disappear into the ethereal.
You disappear, but nothing changes.
Exact same color spectrum.
You are still in this white void, and this woman looks solid to you, even though you're in the ethereal plane, almost if she's here with you.
Ooh.
Maybe connected to any plane or every plane. He'll, and about 6 seconds later, pop back over. Nothing out of the ordinary there.
Kotatar,
Speaking. Yes.
Silva, what bugs have we seen, if any, in dreams, possibly nightmares specifically? Does the Nightmare King represent? Is the Nightmare King represented by a bug at all, or perhaps Alseta, or a sequence that we've?
No, not that I can recall.
There have been a lot of
Whoops.
spiders.
Sure.
Butterflies when we were in, what was it called? Limbo?
Limbo butterflies? Well, that would make
Uh,
sense. The butterfly effect is very prevalent in Limbo.
With a bit of a nod and a bit of a half of a smile on his face, looks at Silva. The reason why I was asking if it was individual or a choice is I was planning on choosing the butterfly myself. Blue is Makiak's favorite color.
Oh.
Hmm.
You've given me an idea there, San Leon. Excuse me, Reginald Bellagamba. Have you heard of the name Alseta?
You hear no reply. She does not even move.
I say we just pick the butterfly if two of us feel it. and
If we
nobody else is gonna
gravitated
really-
towards it, yes, absolutely, Silva.
Yeah. There's a lot of notes for me to go through, and I keep seeing Silva's name, so I know half these notes are really useful for the situation.
What? Shocking.
I agree. If
Is
we...
there?
Sorry, go ahead.
Can I roll history or something? Are there stories of something like this of a choice?
Yeah, go ahead.
This
And roll
is like
a
really
history.
specifically laid out, and I feel like I'm missing something, and I can't read fast enough.
That's totally fine. History is fine. Yeah.
That didn't matter. I don't know, and I can't read. I got a 7, so I don't think I got it.
Okay, here's the thing. I'll give you this. In the campaign, there's nothing to read back on.
Shit.
In with a 7 that you know for Nira, you might know with a 7 that things represent ideas.
Mhm.
You might just have to come up with what ideas represents with what creature.
Well, go first, Reginald.
Well, my thinking is that if we can't find a logical reasoning for which one we should choose, then we should trust the guts of Silva and Kotatar. I can't think of any more trustworthy guts than the guts that those two have.
I'm in agreement. I mean, would Nira say out loud the possible, representation of insects for different things?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, Sen would say
Because Nira is also going through her notebooks right now because she also feels like she's missing something.
right. So I would say, well, butterflies come out of a cocoon. They start as a caterpillar. Dragonflies, admittedly, I don't know much about them. Ladybugs are predators.
In some
Oh, that.
cultures, they also represent luck.
They do.
What color is the
Yes,
ladybug?
ladybugs eat aphids.
What color was the ladybug? One more time. I'm so sorry.
Red,
and
red with black. Yeah.
Classic ladybug colours.
And what color was the butterfly?
Blue and
Blue
black.
and
Hope you don't mind a
them are
whole
green,
episode of deciding which one
Green
we
and black.
pick,
Yes.
right?
Oh, this is great. What am I hoping for? I want you
What
to-
were you worried about?
Right? Yeah.
Can you
Hey.
explain the shapes of these dots? Are they
yeah.
are there crossbones under them? Oh wait, here's more notes
Yeah.
from this game.
This is a weird. It's just if you want to stop your party, just put doors in front.
Is
of
it
them
a
in
mimic?
the form of bugs?
If I touch
The
it,
color
is it going to
green
try
written
and...
down a lot. I'm just saying.
Well, we've been into a lot of verdant areas.
You might be right.
Big butterfly. Are we all on the same page here?
We're all thinking it. I mean, subtly.
Kotatar just
initially
pokes the butterfly.
first.
Thank you,
Oh,
Kotatar.
there we go.
Making the
All right.
Jump in the hole.
As you poke the butterfly, there's a ripple in the air. And the 3 illusions fade, and you hear her say, you seek growth and transformation.
Ah!
Next test. And 3 more illusions appear.
Yeah,
One.
okay, we're Kingdom Heartsing. Got it.
Yes.
Transformation. I don't want to be turned into a butterfly.
Oh, Reginald, don't like that.
Oh, right. Literal versus figurative.
Like
yes.
growth, like,
yes.
you know, like the
yes.
character growth that we've all been going through.
Right, yes.
Before you, a praying mantis appears, then a beetle, then a roly-poly. And she
What's a
says,
roly-poly?
Oh, is that...
That's very American.
Oh, they're the, Oh,
I go for the roly poly because they get a little cute.
we call them...
They're cute.
Do we call them Slater bugs here?
Pillbugs?
Is that what we call them?
Pillbugs also is a name for
Pill
them.
bugs?
Yeah, we call them-
Those are the ones that
I'll
didn't
send you
roll
a
up.
picture.
Oh boy, we're gonna overanalyze this one. Like, not even in game. Just like, well, actually, here's the anatomy of a roly
They
poly.
roll up into a little ball.
They are really
and they-
cute.
to protect
Here,
themselves, and they just kind of roll
I have
around.
let's see.
I'm
Very
Googling
harmless.
this.
Very
This
cute.
is the perfect example of like this is a party in real life of 3 different continents, and we just proved why.
Oh, yeah, we call them Slaters. Yeah, Slaters. Yeah.
That's incredible.
I still don't know what a Slater is, but
Here, I sent
There's
you
a
a
link to
picture in
it.
chat.
Oh, that's
Pill
so funny.
bugs. Yeah.
They basically roll up and protect
That's right.
themselves with
Yeah,
a shell.
out of
Kind of
game.
like an
out of game.
armadillo.
it's a
Wait, I
freaking
said that,
pill bug.
didn't
Okay,
I?
you did.
Yeah,
You did.
yeah, you
We're
did.
poking that one.
You did.
So yes, the praying mantis is green. The beetle has a blue blackness to it, and the roly-poly, of course, is like a silver gray.
It's
Well,
interesting. The druid's not here. Well, then again, yeah. And I just look over.
we do have a
He doesn't
ranger,
really
you
like,
know.
he doesn't like animals.
Why is his eyes crossed? Yeah, there's a bit of drool.
I poke David. No.
he's disconnected from the.
I actually think Kotatar is kind of staring at the praying mantis because he's actually not seen anything like that before.
Gosh, what's the matter?
I've never seen that before.
Though that? Oh, that's a praying mantis. It's like a predator type insect. You often hunt spiders, flies, sometimes small birds even.
Yeah, it's good. It's a predator. It's a predator, and it eats its own mate.
Scythe arms. Grabs them, pulls them in.
It rips the heads off the
Oh,
females
beetle.
rip the heads off the boys and
Yeah.
kill them after mating because they're no longer needed.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
How do
Yes.
beetles defend themselves?
They've just got lots of
I
armor.
think we should go for the beetle. It knows what to do when it's being threatened.
He's
I
still
like
kind of
that.
looking at the praying mantis. The Githzerai would really love this one.
Yes. Gods. Or lack thereof, really.
I'm
Do we
good
want
with whichever,
something-
though.
Do we want to be attackers or defenders or something in between?
I'm always
Well-
about utility.
What was
Oh,
the
is
last one?
that
Pillbug
what
would
it
be
is, Silva?
defense if
That's
you're really thinking about
brilliant.
it, right? Because it rolls up in a little ball of armor.
Yeah, something to protect yourself.
And I know that beetles, if in some cultures, are often used to ward off magics of some descriptions or evils.
What if it's
With
a
their
dung
scent.
beetle?
Well, poo.
We're protecting ourselves from shit.
We always are, really, aren't we?
Well, I
So-
like that metaphor. Yes, you were quite right.
I like the beetle.
I like the beetle too.
After you, then.
All right.
Touch the beetle.
Once again, as you touch the beetle, there's a ripple in the air and the illusions disappear. And she says, "Ah, you are both strong and defensive. Next test." And before you appears a betta fish, a trout, and a shark.
Is the beta fish trying to fight the other 2 illusions?
Yes, because the is so
It's so aggro.
Mirror on both
I don't
sides.
care, you're a shark, mate. What? You're in my way.
I need to know what kind of shark. I think that's also very important.
That is really
Fair,
important.
very fair. It is a great white.
Oh man, it's huge. This is the hugest illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first illusion we
Sea
went
puppy.
with Kotatar and Silva. The second illusion, San Leon and myself chose, so I think only proper that Nira
Yes.
chooses this one. And David, what are you doing over there, David?
You hear the dial-up
think-
sound?
Trying to figure out how to turn into one of these animals.
Yeah.
Cracking a
Tries to
bone
turn
and
into
Oh God.
a cheetah or something.
Nira does like take a step back away from the shark. I think she has a new fear. This thing is huge. It eats things. It has big teeth, and she is bite size. Yeah.
sea puppy.
So Nira, apparently it's your decision.
Oh, it's my sorry. I got really tuned in on the shark. But what were the other options again?
You have a beta
beta
fish, one that is
Okay.
almost made of many colors and beautiful fins that float in the air. And then the trout kind of has, once again, like a green iridescent to it as it moves. And then the great white shark.
And then just the fucking great white shark.
Yeah.
You don't need to say anything else other than just...
Yep. No hope. How many teeth does the great white shark have? I need
Does it
to
have
know.
both rows, or is it
Yeah.
just a nightmare
How
shark
old
that
is
has
it? Yeah.
extra rows? How many heads does it have? Does it have too many heads? That's a problem for me as well.
Does it have 5 or 10?
It's a Hydra shark.
It could bite
Yeah,
all of us
oh.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh no, I hate that.
I think I don't know why we're really attracted to this trout. I think Nira's fascinated by it.
Sure.
I don't know why. It's the trout. Nira's picking the trout.
Great.
Okay.
Trout are pretty big, aren't they? Sorry.
So
I know
Nira-
that.
But it's like
What it says.
everything's kind of. I don't know. The trout's not flashy. It's doing its thing. And I
Yeah.
don't know why I'm attracted.
Love it.
It's a good answer. Trout. I'm going trout. Finally.
Go trout, go trout.
Nira
That
steps
one!
forward and touches the trout. And once again, there's a ripple in the air as the illusions disappear. And she goes, "Oh."
Oh no.
Oh no, you've chosen wrong.
I hate this reaction so much in the best way. Because they're just DMing it, like when you're DMing and you roll it actually. Interesting.
Should I have chosen the other B? Should I try to beta and it would have been BBB?
Ooh.
So this was a match a letter.
It's the
She
choice
just-
made.
You almost see as if she's turned her head a little, cocked to the side, but nothing has moved. And she says, "You are being hunted." And
Yeah.
she begins to float into the air. You are strong and defensive, yet you seek growth and transformation, and you are being hunted. You are welcome into Myth Drannor.
Thank you.
And the void begins to fade away from your view. And you now find yourselves on the other side of the bubble. And before you
Oh.
stands an incredibly beautiful forest city. There are tall, intricately carved stone arches, partially destroyed and overgrown with plant life. Many of the structures are made of thick roots and vines, buildings built into trees themselves. There's a sense of magic in the air as the sun breaks through the thick forest canopy. Light rays illuminate what looks like golden flecks in the air. It is eerily quiet, save the trickle of water in a brook that flows through the city and the wildlife. There's a hoot of an owl and the fluttering of dragonfly wings. All is still. All is peaceful. And even though there seems to be absolutely no one here, the city still glows of a golden light, as if they all left with the lights on. And I have, well, this was for Lee, but I'll share it with you guys as well if you want to see.
Sure.
giving you guys more visuals.
Ooh.
Oh wow, yeah.
With all of that, step through, so just like first goes, whoa, looks up and it just no expression, and he's just standing there for 6 seconds. And if anyone notices, you start to see one tear going down his cheek.
Oh, buddy.
Deception check.
Go.
Yeah.
Sorry, wait, brain. Oh god.
I'm
Roll.
Perception check for
passive,
what? What are we
passive
looking for?
23.
Passive of 23.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
16.
What was my passive? No, maybe I'll. No. He's just enamored by the look. He's not going to do perception.
I will notice that and just put a hand on put a hand on his shoulder and don't say anything, just put a hand on his shoulder.
His eyes quickly dart to the hand, but then back to what he's looking at.
No, just
So-
tap your shoulder and then keep
I
going.
don't know why, but I have a strange sense of belonging here. You see, there's just confusion on his face while there's still the tears coming down.
You're not alone there, Samuel. This place, it brims with memories of my ancestors. And yet the quietness makes me feel uneasy.
Yes. He just like almost subconsciously puts a hand on your shoulder as well, as if to kind of like reassure you as well. Just kind of nods and goes, "And I certainly know what it's about us." And he just kind of blinks and kind of starts shaking his head, looking to Kotatar.
Be that as it may. Should we see if we can find a forge?
Yes. I think so.
So from my memory, this city is empty, and the dwarves live underneath. Was that correct?
That was what was depicted and described to us.
Well, let us be on our guard. Empty places don't generally stay empty for long. Nature abhors.
How on guard are you thinking?
Well,
Stealthy.
nature abhors a vacuum, and some place is empty. New people or creatures can move in.
Well, there
Whether-
is some form of powerful magical barrier here, though. Is there not?
True, but if something were to get in, past that magical barrier, it would be very, well, powerful.
Or let in as well. But you're right. We should keep our wits about us, just in case there's something malicious and malevolent here.
Yes. I will lead the way.
All right.
Are we taking our time and being stealthy, or are we announcing our presence?
We just announced our presence because Nira just tried to fly and the broom exploded again.
Oh no.
Until I saw that, I was thinking stealthy, but now it's redundant.
You hear that the broom cracking, just a loud
Ow.
pop. It echoes through this city. And there might be some birds that kind of caw and fly away. But nothing else happens.
Nira quickly puts it behind her back and starts looking around like, what happened?
What was that?
What
wasn't
horrible
me.
that was.
Wow.
Kotatar, why would you do that?
Unexpected as that sound was, wherever it came from, That is a good sign that nothing responded. I think we can be less on our guard now.
Kotatar will walk up to Nira. Just remember, I know the command word too.
Yeah, we should probably wait a while before we use it again. Then that might be bad.
Okay.
I'll do you, Reginald.
Starts walking.
You start walking.
As you walk, you follow a grassy path through the city, which this city seems to just go on forever. Everything about it is intricate. How such a big city could be so well hidden in a forest like this is wild to think about. There are bridges from tree to tree above you, homes built into trunks. And as you walk, you see a giant, very old tree in the center of the city that looks to be an eternal autumn.
Kotatar will kind of look back at Nira. By the way, I know you haven't walked much, so if you feel uncomfortable, let one of us know.
Uppies?
And he'll spin around, take a knee, and let you climb on his back and then up your
Scrambles up.
shoulders.
Yay! Starts looking. Thank you.
Sure. Secondly, I don't know if there's ever been a more, maybe I should talk to this tree in the history of ever. And he'll cast Speak with Lights and walk up to the tree.
Good choice. Good choice.
Kotatar, before you do that, as
sure.
you go to touch the tree,
Mhm.
you detect something.
Interesting.
It was kind of tingling in the back of your mind until you got closer to the center of the city. But you detect remnants of many portals.
Go to tell what's wrong.
And he'll kind of like stop for a second, like with a hand up, and then he'll wave it and use his detect portal ability properly.
You detect within your area 3 portals. And it's like these portals are still there, but it's like portals were used so often in this city that it thinned the planar fabric.
I can feel the planar energy. I didn't even know we could overutilize it. I can sort of feel 3 of them, but like there used to be like a lot more than 3. Is that kind of what the inclination?
Yeah, you
Or-
get the feeling that portals were maybe used in this
Yeah,
city
yeah,
a lot,
yeah.
but there are 3 that seem to be the strongest.
Yeah. In comparison to, say, a city like Limbo, would it be more or less?
Oh, then Limbo? Ooh. Probably not as much as Limbo.
Okay. Yeah, just from a comparison perspective.
Yeah.
That is odd. But perhaps they, given the look, visited the Feywild a good bit. Perhaps. A hunch.
It would make sense.
Could be many
You
other
don't think-
places.
You don't think... I mean, this is a place that we've been destined to go. And beforehand, you know, we had Alseta being like, your destiny. Or actually, no, Alseta said we're not special. Well, either way, whatever Alseta, but would it not be prudent to possibly surmise that Alseta is involved with this city? So many portals. The god of portals and gateways and doorways.
That makes a lot of sense.
Are they
I was thinking the
portals
same thing.
specifically designed to get here or escape from here, do you think?
Or if they're just randomized like some lady likes to put us through.
Actually, that would make the most sense, yes.
Uncertain.
Kotatar, if you'd like to investigate these few portals, I'll even give you that this first one you already discovered was a portal to the Feywild. You were correct.
Oh, I'm guessing right. What am I rolling?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check for the others.
Cool.
One
So-
for each.
So here's what's so two different rolls.
Yeah.
So here's what's cool. I'm a whizzy boy. I'm not intelligent. I have a +0 to Arcana. I rolled a natural 20 and an 18.
Whoa.
Let's go. Give me them portals, Hope.
You find a portal that absolutely, and you don't even know of this land because you are from Limbo, but you get this
I don't go here.
you get this sense it is a portal to the Underdark. And the third portal, you get an extreme sense of dread just trying to feel it. Extreme sense of dread just being near it.
Why are you reacting that way?
He kind of like points out towards like, because he doesn't like see them. Essentially, like he's pointing out something that essentially that's like even like invisible. It's like an energy. Like I'm thinking like the freaking the scene from Boondock Saints where Willem Dafoe is like, there was a firefight like over here. And over here, this seems to have been specifically from the Feywild, and then over here, the space known as the Underdark, this very strange subterranean area. Over here, though, just this sense of awful dread.
When
What was-
Kotatar... Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, that was it.
Okay. When Kotatar points out the dread, if we're concentrating on that area, of course, we can't see these portals. Kotatar can sense them. But if the dread is palpable enough, would we get, like, just some unease looking in that direction?
Absolutely.
Is it a similar feeling to what we have when we're feeling the nightmare, or something different?
This is something different.
With San... all right. With San's sort of history with infernal shit, of course being able to speak infernal, and I don't want to say too much on that, with everyone else. But,
Well, hold on, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not listening. Hold on.
I'm not listening.
Not listening.
With all that, does it happen to have a similar feel to anything infernal, or a fiendish? Just that uneasy feeling.
Not exactly. It doesn't feel infernal or like demons or anything like that, but it definitely has a darkness to it that you may or may not know.
Does it feel like what happened when we had waves of the Shadowfell, like
Yeah.
wisping over us? Yeah.
Yes.
So, like squinting my eyes, I go, "We know this feeling, Kotatar." We were in it. Recently, in fact. You know, he just kind of turns to everyone. The Feywild and that area where it went changing. all the time.
Shadowfell.
Yes, that one.
Okay.
Yes. Wait, are we supposed to go to the
Consider-
Underdark? Or at least underneath?
That could be where they are.
Maybe.
That makes a lot of sense. It's connected to the Shadowfell. If the
Feywild. Shadowfell.
Shadowfell, Feywild. If the elven remains we found there, they would have come from here, perhaps through that portal to Shadowfell, and then into that cave where they untimely met their demise.
Did they meet their demise in the cave? I thought their remains were just taken there.
They put
be.
themselves there as a final act
Ah.
to,
Oh, yes,
to
Silva.
keep their remains safe so that someday they could pass on knowledge and their bones to someone who it was meant to go to.
They've done that. So, interesting. Okay. Thank you, Silva.
Wait, so does that mean that the shadow, the Nightmare King, is from the Shadow Realm?
Possibly. I mean, it would stand to reason to a degree, though I do feel like nightmares extend beyond just the Shadowfell. But at the same vein,
Sure.
I mean, if they were to come from anywhere, I mean, the Feywild is very dreamlike. So it stands to reason that the Shadowfell, if it's some perversion or opposite to the Feywild, could have nightmares be born from such magics or latent energy. Oh, my head's
So-
hurting.
Yeah, so saying
Kotatar
that
hasn't cast it yet, but he's touching the tree now. Just to get any sort of feeling off of it.
The tree feels warm. It feels inviting.
Warm
Kind of
tree.
matching the warmth that we see around the city.
Yeah.
Okay. You all continue to speculate. I'll be right back. And he'll go ahead and cast it.
All right, Kotatar. So, and then I just kind of continue babbling on.
Kotatar, you start to get lost in the sound of the tree creaking against this breeze, and the leaves start to rustle as if they're awakening for just a moment, just for you. What would you like to say?
If there's any confirmation that trees are alive, you're a prime example.
That is a good choice of words, young one.
So, have you been enjoying our speculations so far? How are we doing?
I have not seen a soul in many, many years. It is nice to see you. And you are doing well, I would say. Elf. But you are hurting, aren't you?
I assume you don't mean physically.
I do not.
For some time. But I'll be fine.
The resilience of those who can walk always amuse me.
certainly cannot compare to your resilience, old one.
I am a guardian of this land, and I shall be for as long as I can. I am the one who keeps the barrier up. I am the one who holds the knowledge of the land. And I am the one who will die with its secrets.
Seems that is your fate. Hopefully you can help us with what we believe is ours. Could you show us the way? Apparently underneath all of this Dwarven city underneath gives us access to things that will help us against the nightmare.
Even trees can have nightmares, and I wish to rid mine from my mind. If you are saying you are here to stop that, then
that is precisely what I am saying.
there is an entrance to the mines. Further into the city, follow the stone path. For it is only the stone path that can get you there. And there is only one stone path. Also, look out for the key.
Thank you. When you say look out for the key, is this a metaphor?
The key is always moving. I cannot say where it is right now, but you will find it, I am sure.
And with a sigh, he just says, let me guess. Without the key, we don't get in, right?
Well, it helps.
Well, if it's any consolation, Kotatar of the Githzerai thanks you, Guardian.
Kotatar, the Githzerai. You are now embedded into my memories as a part of this city.
And with a nod, he takes his hand away.
And the tree begins to settle once again, and the leaves go still.
The spell is
That's
still
why
up.
I think that,
Oh,
you know. Oh, look, Kotatar is starting to come to.
Kotatar. Oh, Kotatar, yes. We'll get back to
Stanley On's
that
been
conversation on
talking this
Beatles
whole
later.
yeah. Has Nira been?
somewhere?
Oh, okay. That's what I was gonna say. Is Nira still locked up?
No, you stood still for too long. Near's jumped down.
Yeah,
and
he had to
moved
move on.
away.
Right. He kind of spun around the back to have the conversation, and it's all still up for a little while. He puts his hand back on it and he says, "But I also know that hurt is not forever." So, he kind of points over to the stone path. Apparently that's the only way. But also we need to keep an eye out for the key. Apparently
Key.
it's ever moving.
Ever moving. Well, that might imply that it's some sort of if it's always moving, it's either an object or a creature.
Sure.
Be a leaf
On the wind.
on the wind.
Or it
One
could
of
be a
those
key in
I
somebody's
saw-
pocket.
Any other clue, Kotatar, apart from it's always moving?
No. Other than that, doesn't seem to be exactly required, but it could help us. So we'll see how that goes.
We're always moving.
Sure.
Oh, that's deep, Sandleon. Yes, we are always moving.
I read a story once that a key to a galaxy was on the collar of a cat, and they had to chase that down.
I have read that book.
What?
Because cats are always running, so you put it on the cat and you can't catch it.
Oh,
I'll keep my eyes out for cats. Thank you, Nira. Good information.
solid logic.
Nira, do you want to know a secret about that
Always.
book? That cat that you just referred to was a Githzerai that got stuck in true polymorph for too long.
So the Githzerai have the key.
In that book, I mean. Anyway.
Nope, I think now the Githzerai have the key. That is the logical answer from this.
Okay. And he starts walking down the stone.
So what's the matter? Cat got your key?
So, you just hear, "Don't make me shoot you."
Wouldn't be the first time.
And we're walking.
Now we're walking.
You follow this stone path further and further into a darker area of the city, almost to the edge, where
Where there's a dog.
It was on a dog, not a cat.
That's the key! The key is the dog.
almost to where the forest becomes dark and all of the lights are fading away from the city. And this stone path leads you to almost a cul-de-sac kind of area. And in the ground, almost like a sewer cover, is what looks like an entrance. But there are glyphs on it. Very strong glyphs. If you want to give me an oh, Nira's gone.
I could
there's
hear my
Nira.
cat was doing something weird. I was poking her.
If you want to give me an Arcana check, Nira.
Oh, that's better. Dirty 20.
These let me just double check that I get this right. These glyphs of power look very hastily made, almost like someone was in a rush to put them on. Do you read any languages?
Common and Draconic.
Okay.
That doesn't help, does it?
Nope. But you get the sense that these runes are protection runes.
Okay.
And
If we have time, I could cast Detect Magic, which would help.
yeah, you want to do 10-minute detect? Or
Yeah, if we're not in a hurry.
okay.
Yeah, no.
And what exactly does that get you?
I just remembered to finish my character sheet from 2 weeks ago.
That's really funny.
Detect Magic gives me
The school, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it is magic
why does
and
it
school.
tell me what it says? It just says you sense a project of magic within 30 feet of you. Faint aura around a visible creature and object that bears magic. You learn a school of magic. Haha. I can't read.
Yeah, this is definitely abjuration.
Can I?
It's abjuration.
Can I do an Arcana check too? Because I got advantage on it, and I've got different languages.
Sure.
I have a question. What's abjuration?
Protection. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that was
Protection.
Sorry.
in
That was
Danny's
amazing.
just so
Protection.
good.
Yeah, it was like when the octave went down, I went, oh, I know who that's Silva.
The 15, and I speak Celestial, Elvish, and Giant.
These are elvish runes,
Makes
but you
sense.
also see runes that you do not recognize
What
that
does-
look almost like you would maybe recognize them as dwarven runes.
I was just
It
gonna
almost
say,
looks like, yeah.
I think I speak Dwarven.
Do you really?
I think I do. I'm gonna double check.
Let's
Can this be
go.
a group assignment? Can we read it together as a family?
Oh,
Everyone.
Yes.
'cause the jewel-
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was to do with the jewel. Yeah.
Got any deep speech
And I-
in there?
Doesn't-
Little
Does
abyssal.
Doesn't David have Dwarven?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think
And I-
so.
Goblin.
And I'm a rune
Yeah.
knight, so surely that should give
I
me
do
some.
speak Dwarvish. I had no
Let's
Dwarvish.
go.
Yeah, team effort. All right, team
Let's
effort.
go. Go team.
Together, you're able to piece together what these runes say. I'm just reading. Hang on. Before.
Whoa!
35.
Together, you see that the runes of the elven language say, basically in a very flowery language, it just says, none shall enter, protected by our souls. And then the dwarven rune says, Nightmare Gate.
Heard it here, folks. That says the Nightmare Gate.
I mean, that sounds like what we're looking for, right?
Yeah,
Try.
probably.
Well,
Can't
for
even dispel it.
Spell it.
Dispel it.
I can try. Wait, do I have to spell magic?
Oh, hang on.
I do have it to spell magic.
As Nira is looking into this, and as you read out these words,
Poke it a few times.
you hear a
Ah!
coming from behind you.
Nero, is that you?
The same.
Nero, you're making noises again.
Neurodivergent copying. I love that so much.
There's the key, I suppose. As I
That was
tend to
not
look at the
a
noise.
me quack.
That was another quack.
Sunleon, you turn around, and right there before you is a wild goose. And there's a
Oh
this neck.
my god.
That's what I
Is it a-
cast.
Is it a vampire goose?
I speak with no.
Is it
I speak.
Find a pass here.
I cast speak with beasts.
Yes!
Yes, we love
Wait,
it.
is it a speak
Be
with
friends with
beasts
a
or a speak with
goose.
animals?
Speak with animals.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Um,
just
Friend.
Whack!
hold on. Let me see.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Oh.
seriously.
And
I have beast.
scene.
I have beast sense, so you know, I'll probably just
Yeah,
keep
me
that
too.
up as well.
Yeah, using cool abilities.
So I just say, what is it? A goose?
Alright, do you say that to the goose?
Are you? Hello. Have you not seen people for a while? Things, animals, creatures use per people.
It crooks its head at you, and then its little butt wiggles a little bit, and then it turns and starts to waddle away.
I just follow it. I start walking. Not much of a talker, are you?
I cast a mage hand and it tries to grab the key around its neck.
Okay, give me a dexterity. Give me like
There's
an
a key?
yeah, just give me a dexterity check.
Okay. Oh, amazing. 24.
Ooh.
I rolled really well
Okay.
today.
I'm gonna- Okay. Yeah, as it starts to waddle away, your mage hand just kind of are you grabbing at the key?
Yes, specifically at the key.
Okay, as you grab the key with your mage hand, the duck goes, or the goose goes, wah! And bites down on the mage hand as best it can.
It's invisible. It can't see it.
Yeah? Well, it's biting down at something. It doesn't actually make sense.
It's really funny.
Goose has
So
true
it bites
sight.
down.
We are screwed.
That would be amazing. I would not be upset about that at all.
Wait a minute.
So as it bites down on it, I'm not sure what is it just continuing to do that?
It's gonna bite down on the key.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I see. Because I think Mage Hand's limit is like I think 5 pounds.
Is it
of,
only
like,
5?
pressure. I think something like that. Let me check.
I can pick up a goose.
Nope. It can carry more than 10 pounds.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna see if the Mage Hand can drag the key forward, and hopefully the goose comes with it. Is
It absolutely does.
Yeah, totally.
Just see the goose kind of like waddle while its neck is like stretched out, trying to hold on to the key.
Then as it's in duress, I'll raise it up and try to get the key off of its neck.
Are you actually a goose?
You need help.
I'm not sure.
No, I've come
How far
forward.
away is it?
Gooses don't live that long. How is this here?
I drug it like up close and personal, so it'd be like right in front of us.
Okay.
It just starts wiggling its tail, kind of like really fast. You're not sure if it's happy or angry.
Just pick it up.
Are you talking to it, Leon?
Yes, I'm talking to it. Although it's not talking back, which is a little rude if it's actually a goose.
Wah!
Or it's a
I don't think it's a goose.
perhaps it's
I think
a
it's something else.
demon.
I don't get that far.
The
Do you
story I
speak
told
demon?
I start speaking Infernal.
Oh, so it's gonna be like that, is it?
I knew
it.
Demon goose.
No.
Is that canon? Is that
What? No, it's just the goose. Just kind of. It's just a goose. Just a wild goose.
It's a really rude goose. It's not talking back.
Someone punch it in the throat.
Have I removed the key from its neck?
Yeah, you have. But it's gonna bite at you. So let me get an attack roll.
Cool.
Does a 17 hit?
No. So it floats over it. I grab the key as it like probably it's like trying to like go for like my like
Yeah.
my like shins or whatever.
Yeah.
I give it a crack.
I just look down at it.
You give it a cracker?
Yeah,
Okay.
to try and distract it from like biting and trying to get the key.
It bites at the cracker quite rudely and takes it.
Problem solved.
Do we have any jewelry, like necklaces or anything?
No.
Not that I'm willing to give up.
I look over at David, who has my necklace. Listen, it's a great necklace. I kind of. I'm sorry. Do you mind?
No, that wouldn't be. That means. Hold on. Nira digs through. Nira's got to have old broken necklaces and jewelry in her bag, and just like pulls one out. It's a necklace from that jewelry store that we kind of robbed.
When you said no, I was like, you're. Out of the game, I was like, you're fucking lying. I know you have jewelry. I didn't say
I'm
anything,
so
but I was
proud
like,
of
I
you,
know
Nick.
you do.
May I?
Pulls up a real shiny necklace and hands it to you.
Thank you. I'm going to like sleight of hand try and just like whip that onto its neck
Just like,
with the dangly part in front of it.
And put the cracker on the necklace.
Yeah.
Put the cracker on the necklace.
it's just a goose. Grab it.
Sunleon, give me a quick dexterity, like sleight of hand check.
Alright. Sleight of hand, is it?
This is so D&D right now. It's like ridiculous.
We spent 3 hours. with
17.
Yeah, you were able to just swoop right over its neck, and the goose just kind of goes ah, and like starts to waddle away, thinking that it has the key again.
There you go. Goose, simple. But also I'm not speaking in beast, by the way. Just saying. I'm not insulting. You see, it's a little old trick that I used to read in my hero books. Sometimes they would go into these ruins, and they would get the object, and they would replace it with something of equal weight. We just did that with a fucking goose.
Good,
Oh,
good,
that's-
good job, guys. It took us 20 minutes to outsmart a goose. We're gonna kill the Nightmare King anyway.
Yeah, we got it.
I would see a goose killing the Nightmare King, if I'm quite honest.
That
They're
goose
pretty
might have been the
nasty.
Nightmare King. I don't trust it.
Yeah, what would be the equivalent of Canadian geese in Faerun?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because fuck those
Dale's
motherfuckers.
geese.
Full of business.
Dale's geese.
Yeah, right.
Dale's geese, yeah.
Who also is decent, like has a decent short bow shot. Like,
Yes. Yeah. They're notorious for
Please.
biting the bowstrings off of
Yeah.
the warden's bows, and the warden's like, oh.
They're Tucker's geese.
Kotatar is just like, I was thinking to myself, the reverence of this place, and now I'm questioning the very wisdom.
Well,
I'm
should
not
we use the
connected
key?
to that goose.
Does that help with this?
I guess we'll
Did you
find out.
dispel the magic?
No, because we got in this goose.
Got this goose situation.
No,
You're
Hope,
just-
you distracted us with a goose.
Nira just was like, I gotta watch this now. I don't know what's gonna happen. One of them's gonna die to a goose any second now.
It's fine.
Reginald could just giant form, pick it up, take this.
Okay. Well, you've got
but this-
runes on this thing that are blocking the keyhole.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we
The
have to.
ruins are blocking the keyhole. Oh, okay. Then I don't. You just spell
You want that spell slot, don't you? That's how I feel about Secret Plan, so I totally get it.
You use all of your spell slots before we do anything. Okay, I'll cast a third level of
GM.
spell magic on it.
Third level. So what do I have to? What is? Once again, sorry, I always get the math mixed up on
If
this.
it's below a third level, I have to roll for it. Oh, man, I don't
Higher.
roll for it. Should I just?
If it's
Above.
above a third level,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast it 5th level. I have 2 5th levels now.
Oh shit! Okay, it's
Oh,
on.
shit.
No, no,
Whoa!
4th level. 4th level.
Wait.
4th level. I'm panicking. I don't roll well for these. I'm going 4th level. If it's,
Okay.
if it's below 4th level, I have to roll for it. Or above a 4th level, I have to roll.
Yeah, above 4th level.
Okay,
If it's a
go-
4th level
The
spell,
DC
then
is 10 plus the spell level.
Yeah.
okay. So you roll or I roll? You roll.
I have
Nira
to roll
rolls.
for it.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
here we go.
Jesus Christ, you roll well. 13 plus my spellcasting modifier, which is 9.
Wow.
22.
So what
Did
does
I
that
get to do
mean?
that?
So yeah,
It's
it would work. Like, I don't think. Well, mythals are like level 10 or something.
Yeah.
And then
No, it's
below-
Yeah. You managed to dispel the elven runes, and underneath it are the dwarven runes.
I hate it here. That's amazing. Oh, that was amazing. I'm dead.
Well, yes, but the
Doing
key
it
might
again
work on
at
it now.
3rd level.
Do you want to try just using the key?
I can't
I
get to
mean-
the hole because the fucking rune is there.
The dwarven runes?
That's what she said.
Fucking natural 1.
Oh my god.
What if can you silvery barbs yourself?
You have to take the
Silvery
lower.
barbs the door. It
You
gets
take the lower
disadvantage.
then.
Yeah. That's not how that works.
Can
I
I?
don't know what a natural 1 for the spell magic does, but that happens.
yeah,
The
My
original
memory,
spell's
it
back
just-
on it now.
It just-
Can
Reverses itself.
can I do a sleight of hand check because of my knowledge of runes to try and disarm it,
You want to disarm these runes with a sleight of hand?
or something else?
Because you're a rune knight.
I'm a
You
rune knight.
understand runes to a
I
degree.
understand.
I'm a room boy.
I'm a rune boy.
Does that keep-
Watching the facial journey, like, sure.
You can certainly
I
try.
mean, I'm one to say yes to a lot of things, but I
It's
think I
true.
need a little more justification here.
Fair enough.
Turn into a giant and smash it.
We have the key. Oh god.
Let's try the key first. Or are we certain it doesn't pass through the runes?
It
can
didn't pass
try.
through the elven
Yeah.
one.
I'm going to take the key and I'm gonna tap it with the rune, like tap the key on the rune.
Yeah,
And just-
it just
and
goes
just-
boom, boom, boom
Right.
with energy.
So as you can see, no, not quite. However, I do. When did I I'm gonna try something.
Right.
1 second. And he disappears into the ethereal plane and sees if the keyhole is still there.
The keyhole is still there. I'm trying to see what you're getting at.
Is the runes also still there?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
If
That's what I
I
need.
spin around 3 times, touch my nose,
Right.
is the rune still there?
I'm gonna use my Mega Man 3 password from the NES. Does that work? No.
I say Bolo.
Now, I'll give you. Remember that these dwarven runes look pretty secure, and you do know now that it reads Nightmare Gate.
It's so sitcom right now because like the camera's looking up at us and we're just like office like office space like on looking down at the printer.
Yeah.
Well, that was my idea. How big is the difference between the dwarven runes and the key? Like, what's the is it like how many feet between the barrier and the actual physical?
Oh,
key?
it'd be like inches, like 2
Okay, cool.
inches.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. I'm just going through all my shit. I got nothing.
I gotta do it again. I gotta cast it again. I gotta use another
Yeah.
spell slot
Yeah, you
and do it again. I'll use another third level. I'm gonna roll for it.
I'm so sorry.
We're gonna immediately take a long rest. We're a really long.
And then we're going to bed.
10 plus my spell modifier is 19.
Yeah. You see this red energy just kind of dissipate with just like sparks, and it fades away.
Hey, nice.
And then shoves the key in the keyhole.
Like you take it from Kotatar's hand.
Yeah, in the.
Grabs it and
You stuff the key in and you turn it with a loud and the door folds inward and you are staring into a very dark hole.
What's it smell
Hey.
like?
It smells like a cave, like kind of that musty,
Got it.
moldy kind of smell.
If we were to plank dive in there, what would happen? Just
Stop jumping in
Way to
holes.
find out.
Yeah. Danny, you were saying something?
Oh yeah, I was just saying, Nira, good job. I've heard that like doors are like the kind of #1 thing with adventures that they give up on because it's so hard to do. But that was really cool.
and
Thank you.
salesman
I
as
was
well.
really afraid if we couldn't get in that we were done for. This is
Yeah,
over.
we
We were
would've
all
had
just
to-
gonna die outside.
Just let the world end.
Yeah.
Be goodbye door.
Nightmare King wins.
We should get a salesman with us. They're really good at door to door.
Ow.
Nira jumps in the hole.
I gotta whisper to Saint Leon. I've known Silva for so many years, and I still can't tell when she's being sarcastic or not.
Kotatar just whispers in your ear. always, and jumps down.
Jargo Silva so
As
well.
Nira tries to light a light to go down the.
Yes.
We just keep jumping in holes.
Always. And then
Okay.
you do plank face first.
Nope.
I'm gonna
Damn.
just go up to Silver and just kind of grab her hand if that's okay, and then just jump in and we'll say, well, remember last time? At least we're jumping in together this time.
Oh, that's cute. And then I shove him in.
Yep. That's correct.
That is the correct answer.
Correct.
I feel like David also has already jumped in.
Yeah, David's probably already jumped in. Who else is still up top?
Well, I look at Silva
Nira.
and go, well, all that hubbub about darkness and yada yada, speak about the darkness, and I just lean into the. And then you hear the echoing, come into the darkness, like in a really dramatic sense.
Roll my eyes and step in.
You just hear giggling.
Nira's gonna.
Like echoing down the.
Can Nira try the broom again? I don't know. We haven't decided a time frame.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Please don't explode. 3! I don't explode. Nira still
Yeah,
flies
congratulations.
down the hole. I didn't have no idea how Nira was gonna get down. Everyone had left, and Nira has one thing.
Everybody
And
else just
as-
hoping gravity doesn't exist wherever we're going.
And as Nira hops into the hole with the broom and everyone else, you just see a goose coming up to the door. He pecks at
Oh.
it,
Oh,
and
fuck.
door closes.
Oh, my God. I
freaking
hate,
goose!
I knew you should
I
have done
hate
that.
New enemy!
I
New
hate him
enemy!
so much.
And it just goes, "Wah!" and waddles
Oh,
off.
Screw you!
Amazing.
We're gonna
What?
find and eat that goose.
I'm gonna kill that fucking goose.
Leon, what did he say? What does rat mean?
I can speak to animals, and I don't know what the fuck that goose said.
It's a demon! I told you it was a demon.
Everyone give me dexterity saving throws to land on your
Oh, do
feet in
I?
the darkness.
Oh, okay.
I know a lot of you have dark vision, but
Yes.
Oh god, alright.
That's my one.
Do I do
One.
anything special since I'm on the broom?
you're fine. You don't have to roll.
Okay, cool. Thanks, because that was bad.
Oh, actually, I could just walk down the walls. Never mind. I was dumb, but you know, we're committing to the bit, I suppose. Natural 20 on the first roll, so 25.
Of course, it's a natural 20.
Bro,
Of
come on,
course,
admit
it's
to
you.
it.
Anyway, 22.
Oh no! Anyway,
Superhero. Broke hope a couple times tonight. Love it. Love to see it.
Long may it live.
Sorry, did anyone get under a 15?
I got a natural one.
Oh no!
Silva got a Silva. Yep.
Okay,
Whoa!
here's what I love to do because San Leon,
Lovely.
you and Silva kind of went in, I think, close to the same time, and you got a
Yeah.
nat
Yes.
20. I will allow you to catch her if you'd like.
Okay. I'll
not
land
me,
first
though.
and then look up and see Silva doing not well. In fact, there's a flashback in San's mind to David's like, whoa!
Exactly. Exactly correct.
I go,
Yep.
oh, that's not going to end well. And I do like a fireman catch.
As right behind you, Reginald goes, "Wah!"
I go to try and like catch him as well, but I've already got one person. Go, can I try to catch at the same time? Or
You can only get one.
well, I've caught Silva. I'm like,
Reginald lands,
not
and
good.
he just hears as like the pain, I guess, crosses his mind. At least it's not quicksand.
Did we
I
get
say
a?
to San, I
I'm
really thought
okay.
you were gonna let me fall there.
Why would I do that? And I go, oh shit, I'm still holding it. Sorry. And I kind of put you on your feet.
Okay.
Look, I might be creative in races, when we are competitive, but if you're falling to your potential ouchies or death, I'm gonna fucking catch you.
That's actually really comforting. Cool.
You got. Sorry.
I smack his head.
Oh! I just kind of like flick you on the shoulder really hard, and then I just walk over to Reginald. You, bro, you good?
You realize
Do I have falling damage? I don't know.
Hold on,
Reginald.
something might be happening.
Reginald has landed in a pile of bones.
Oh.
I turn around. Nira turns around and leaves. There's got to be another way out doorknob, right?
As you turn around, you realize the entire ground, as far as you can see, is covered in bones.
This is not good.
Taking the skull?
What size of
Got bones
bone?
here. There's bones. There's bones. I don't like bones.
Kotatar takes the little light, the little crystal light. Not the drink. Yeah, it's fluorescent. So he can see because he doesn't have dark vision.
I light my sword.
Okay, you light your sword and you are in a not a cavern, a tunnel.
Okay.
A tunnel made of stone. It looks very intricately made. It is not just like a a dirt tunnel or anything. It is made really well. You can tell this is Dwarven made. But there are just skeletons as far as you can see. You kind of literally have to walk across them and step carefully to get through them.
Are
if
they
you don't wanna
all
crush 'em.
humanoid?
Give me an investigation check.
And there's dragons.
Imagine dragons.
Oh, you made a pun.
Yeah, it happens every once in a while.
Fun.
So, just a question about that goose, going back. Was it like low polygon looking?
Yeah.
When it like
Like
honks,
NES
did you
or
see three
Super
lines
Nintendo?
coming out of the beak, like 3 lines?
They're all 19.
There are elven bones, there are dwarven bones, and there are let me make sure I get this right. What's the word? I get the two mixed up all the time.
The stalags and the other ones. Yeah, I do
You
too.
see orc
Stalactite.
bones, and you see lizard folk bones.
Well, so many different humanoids here. This could be a grave or something much worse.
This is like a hecatomb.
God bless you.
You don't know what a hecatomb is.
What's a hecatomb?
That's fine. It's a mass grave of animals, or sometimes people.
Is that
That's just
common?
been strewn across. Usually like this. Piles.
Do the bones have things like chew marks on them or anything?
Chew marks, stab wounds, stab slices on them. Total. They have. It looks like a war has broken out in this room, in this tunnel.
How would you
So,
protect this? though?
Are they?
go ahead.
Were they armed? Like, is there stuff still with them? Are they
Yeah,
still armed and everything?
The clothing
course Nira
has
would ask that.
deteriorated away.
Look, it's an important question, but also I would now loot everybody.
Yep.
Swords are, if they weren't made of a good metal, they're rusted. The cloth has deteriorated away.
Okay.
There's not much here because it has been a very long time.
Okay, so that, in my mind, that takes away from gravesite and more of they were here and they were murdered.
Silva.
Yeah.
And I just like slowly turn to Silva. You spoke with the dead. Could you do that again?
Okay, what? I don't remember how did I do it last time? I did. It just kind of happened. I didn't utter anything or like really actually know what's happening. Like how should I cast this? How should I try to cast this? Do you guys have any ideas?
What
By
were you
talking?
thinking? Were you questioning? Were you possibly wondering about such things in front of the dead?
I feel like I remember David and he was wondering about the skeleton, and I kind of was wondering what stories it could tell us. And I don't know, I just kind of like felt like I should reach out.
Seems like you have your answer. Wonder about them, implore inward, and possibly reach out.
Sounds similar to
Okay.
using chaos and limbo.
Hmm.
Will it into existence.
Okay. I can do that. Take my water skin and I take a sip of water. All right.
Very unique water skin.
Oh yes,
Here
yes.
we go.
Good to stay
Magic's
hydrated.
better when you're hydrated.
Yeah.
It's very
Mm.
important.
Yeah, I'm ready.
A PSA for the Misfits of Alseta.
Got my hand again. Over one of the orc bodies.
Okay.
I'm gonna close my eyes and try to will it to speak.
It like jolts up as a skeleton.
This is not
Disjointed.
how it happened last time.
Oh,
I just kind of like rush behind Silva and go, "It's okay. I've seen this before. This is more par of the course. It won't do anything to you, I don't think. Just ask questions."
I'll settle next to Sandleon. Don't worry, Silva. We won't let it harm you. Draw my sword.
What do we want to ask it? What did this to you?
It was them bloody dwarves.
When did they do this to you?
During the Weeping War, we opened the Nightmare Gate and flooded in.
What side
Oh, so you kind
they
of
were
got what was
fighting
coming
on?
to you, didn't you?
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I'll hear what Sand said.
I was just say maybe ask what side they were fighting on, unless we can surmise as much.
Oh. You came with... Did you come with the Nightmare King?
I don't know anything about a Nightmare King.
Who did you serve?
3. You got 2 more.
That's a good question.
Tell me the name of your master.
It was the goose.
Goose.
We're blowing up.
I swear, if it says Hildebrand, I'm going to flip my shit.
Give me 1 second.
The goose is the master, yes.
The camera zooms up and the song from WandaVision, Agatha All Along, begins to play. Ba, 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 ba.
Okay,
I served Ulgathor.
All right. What
Right.
was your plan for when you took over this place?
We wanted the Mythal to destroy everything here.
Did they say mithril or mythal?
Mythal.
Like the spell. Mythal, like the big enchantment.
Is that all the questions?
That's all the
It
questions.
should be, yeah.
Okay, the skeleton crumpled to the ground again.
As it crumples, I just look at Silva and go, "Well done."
I feel like I could do this all
Um,
day.
Silva, give me a perception check. Actually, yeah.
Interesting.
It's a 3.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, you don't notice anything.
I will extend my hand towards one of the lizard folk.
You're gonna do a lizard folk now?
Yeah.
One of the dwarves.
God damn it.
You have to
At
more
will
voices,
spell,
more
baby!
voices.
I can do this all day!
Oh, when you put skeletons here, I don't know what you expected. That's the first thing I expected.
Okay, I can no longer have trees. I can no longer have dead things. I can no longer have animals.
No
I
animals.
wanna talk to them.
We're gonna talk to
We will
all of
talk
them.
to all the things. Best talking adventurers ever.
Kurt doesn't even like talking.
I don't.
Silva, as you go to reach out for this lizard folk skull, something catches your eye. There's a boot coming from the wall.
About what?
Oh God, that one broke me. Oh.
A boot? It's stepping through? What is that? Hey!
It's not moving. It is embedded into the wall.
Yelling at
What the
him.
hell?
Is it made of gold?
You just got it.
What?
A boot. A boot what?
No, I got it earlier, you jerk.
It's a Canadian.
I forgot
movie.
something
We get it.
else.
We get it.
Hey!
Get it?
What's that over there?
You can all now notice that there's a boot.
It's a boot.
I hate everyone here.
A boot what? Guys, a boot what?
Does no one see how strange this is? That a boot is straight up just coming from the wall.
That is rather
yeah,
strange.
that is strange, but
that's-
haven't we seen a lot of things poking out of walls lately? I think this is just like kind of nightmare level normal now.
Now that you all are looking at this boot, you extend your sight above the boot, and there is a human body
Oh.
sticking out of the wall, almost as if it's been melded into the stone. Its hand is sticking out, its head is sticking out, and its eyes are wide open. Its jaw slack.
We've seen this
Alive?
before,
Not alive. They're dead.
Okay, good.
have we not? Like when we went to go to the cremation area for the elves, where we found the bodies. There were bodies coming out of the walls. Or at least, before we got in.
Yeah.
You poking it? You're poking
We
it?
can't hear you, but you're poking it.
You can hear me
Yes.
poking.
Okay.
Yeah, it's it feels dry, like crusty. The skin feels like mummified almost because it's not skeleton. It's just like a human body. It hasn't deteriorated like the others. And it's like its hand is kind of sticking out of the wall, and it's kind of like almost as if it's like reaching, and it's got this shocked expression on its face with this slack jaw. Yeah, it is a dead body.
I just
Good.
squint
You
my
could talk to that one.
eyes, and I don't close my eyes this time. I extend my hand towards it, and I cast Speak with Dead again. God, I hate this. Who did this to you?
Ozama.
Uh, 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 who's that?
My lover.
Why did your lover put you in stone like this?
We had a fight.
Oh, that was pretty rude. Did this happen during the war, Weeping War?
After we were seeking the gold.
Carter just goes, well, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Did you find out where you were supposed to take the gold?
He says,
Well, we're going to take it home and live like kings.
They said we are going to take it home and live like kings.
or we
I think.
were. We
We were
yeah.
going to.
Yeah,
Okay,
because they can't because they're dead.
Yeah.
I can ask you any question. Yes.
Yep, that's the Dragons movie. Amazing.
Yep. Just that's exactly what I'm picturing.
All right. Anyone else see any bodies we should ask questions to? Should we go through all of them?
A
See-
dwarf,
see if we have
perhaps.
anything? Yeah.
I think either a dwarf or we keep moving and find maybe other skeletons, not directly below where we landed. I don't know. I
Cool.
just feel like staying in one spot for too long is going to be a bad thing here
Good call.
without
agree.
protection.
Let's ask a
Also,
dwarf real
Also, Silva, how many times can you do that?
quick. I
At
don't know,
will.
but I guess we'll find out.
I believe she has at least 15 more minutes of usage.
Kotatar looks, maybe for the first time since you've met him, genuinely surprised. Like there is like shock on his face.
All right. Cool. All right.
So
Who's
are
the
you a
dwarf?
necromancer or something?
I don't think so. I think I'd know what I was doing if I was a necromancer.
Are you quite certain?
That's a
Because we
great
just met
answer.
one and they seemed quite clueless.
What'd
Yeah,
you
they
say?
killed their entire village.
Are you
That's what-
quite certain? Because we did just meet one and he seemed quite clueless.
Oh.
Oh, we did too, yes. I don't know if he was the best example of a necromancer, but I get your point.
Quite well known, though, apparently.
Come back to life.
What a great smash cut to
No.
that. Amazing.
Oi, you!
Come back to life.
Not
Are you
working.
doing this to a dwarf?
Yeah.
Okay. This one is still covered in a metal armor that is very, very old and rusted in parts, but it's still, you can tell it was a very strong armor at some point in a helmet. The skull comes to life inside the helmet.
All right, cool. So you died during the Weeping War. What were you defending against?
The orcs, they came. So many undead. Ancient undead. The orcs fought first, but then they turned on our side to defeat the undead, but there were too many.
The orcs. Oh, what about lizard people? Were there any of those?
Yes, lizard folk fought alongside us, even though they started as enemies.
Oh,
So the living fighting
Living
against
against
the
the
undead.
yeah.
Silva, maybe ask about the forge.
All right, where's the forge?
I love someone so much.
That's beautiful.
Where is it?
There is it.
All right, there is it.
3 levels below, in the cavern, is where the forge sits.
Who's commanding the dead?
Some motherfucker, he was just like there, he just
Some
casting
like
spells.
not
Oh my god,
just really
dog.
like dead, bro.
Crazy. Oh, anyways.
I do not know his name, but he is of terror.
Did he was he about yay high, yellow eyes, black hair?
I fucking. This is the best Speak with Dead casting of all fucking time. Forget the movie. This is way better. Go back here. Here? All 5 questions. Here? Here?
He just says, I.
All right, cool. Go to rest.
Right,
rest.
so the Nightmare King, but potentially of another name, perhaps. Or, I mean, honestly, no, it couldn't be.
But
Well, you know that I've been alluded to with my yellow eyes and behold this.
I'm actually just realizing I pretty much was describing you.
Look, I'm a preface. Didn't do it, but
Inside check.
Everyone's low are sadly on weapons raised.
however,
Weapons raised.
why are you looking at me like that? However, what if, and this is just a hunch, I mean, it could very much be the Nightmare King, but what if it was a vampire?
I rolled a 29.
On what?
Insight against San Leon.
Oh.
Oh, he did it. He did it so hard. He was a monster. Crazy. Wow.
Twist! What
Plot
twist?
twist. Plot
What did he
twist.
No, he
Votes
didn't
for
do it. But he goes, what if it was a vampire?
Didn't you already think that the Nightmare King might be working with vampires?
Yes.
So then it would make sense.
Well, it could. I mean, you know, it could also just be the fucking Nightmare King, but it could also be, you know, a more
It could be
tangible
both.
individual. Yes, it could be both. It could be a vampire. I mean, vampires do work with the undead. I'm not lumping myself in with that
Is the
lot,
Nightmare King a vampire?
Well, I don't know. I mean, to a degree, you know, probably feeds
I
off
mean,
of
he's at least an
nightmares.
emotional vampire.
Sure.
Yes, you know, I've known a lot of those in my
Yeah.
time. Oh, God. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, in the meantime, two things
DM,
come to mind.
Well, oh, sorry.
Two things come to mind to me. One. Two. Well, I think Silva's point earlier. I'm not going to figure it out sitting around here. So let's get moving. Secondly, Reginald, as we get away from this chamber, maybe see what that sense of yours. Hello?
Nightmare King calling.
It bugged me. Let me see what that sense of yours
What's your
does.
favorite scary movie?
I love that. That voice is amazing. Iconic. Maybe see what that sense of yours does when we get away from this area. See if there's perhaps some more undead that need to be cleaned up.
Very good idea.
Okay. What would you like
Sweet.
to do?
You know?
Yeah, well, as we kind of walk along, as mentioned, I will definitely cast my divine sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
April, you
Are
want to
you-
do something?
Well, I was just gonna say, when all this was going on, was there anything going on around us? Like anything weird happening?
Nope. It
Or
is
sounds?
dark in here. The only light is of that crystal that you guys got from the tomb.
Mm-hmm.
And this tunnel goes from where you dropped in. It goes both left and it goes right. I'll have a map for you next week. I didn't think
I
you'd
also
make
think
it
we have the
this
sun sword out too.
Oh yes,
Mhm.
okay. Then the sun sword is
Sure.
lighting. I think you get 15 feet.
So the sun sword, if I'm just to give a quick gander, it gives us 15-foot radius of bright light and then an additional 15-foot radius of dim light.
Okay.
Light is sunlight.
Okay. Okay.
So you said
You guys
to
say that?
left and right.
Look, I'm in Dhampir. I'm not a fucking. It's fine. It tingles a little bit, but I kind of like it.
This game is so ridiculous tonight. Looking at the piles of the dead, like is there like a delineation around like whether like a certain pile is like running from something or running towards something as they
Yeah.
fall, stuff like
Mm.
that, just to delineate like which way the forge might likely be based off of what they're trying to protect, running from,
Yeah,
etc.
give me a investigation check.
Cool. Dude, I haven't rolled below like a 13 all night, and I
Love
rolled
that.
like the third 19, not 19, which would bring us to a 23.
Oh yeah, so where you landed, to your left, it just seems swarms of orcs and lizard folk, and then they start to get mixed in with dwarves and elves, and then the further right you go, the more dwarves and elves you get, and then towards the back is more dwarves. So with
Delineation,
that
pretty
delineation, you
good
can probably
insight.
go
Yeah,
right.
That'd be the
let's
right
head
way to
this
go.
way. Let's head this way.
Okay.
All right, I'll follow your lead.
Lead the way, Kotatar.
Reginald, how far does that get you?
60 feet.
Okay. And is it something you have to ping or does it stay up?
It's just a one-use thing, and I can use it 3 times per long rest. So
Okay. So
To
you've
one-
used it now.
I've used it now for any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
Okay, you get nothing. And you guys begin to make your way down the tunnel, slowly making your way through. I wouldn't say this is difficult terrain, but if you don't want to crunch on top of skulls and bones, you might just kind of tiptoe your way around it or knock stuff to the side as you walk.
Yeah,
And
in true Kotatar fashion, he would create a pathway for anyone that has difficulty.
yeah, this tunnel kind of starts to curve to the left and start aiming a little bit downwards. So now it feels like you're going downhill a little bit. And then you get to a crossroads. There are 3 ways to go: left, right, and straight.
Any delineation between the 3 differences, etc.
You can give me a perception check. It's not going to do much because there's not a lot of light. If you maybe want to do per like smell or
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
In not awesome. See, I talk shit and I rolled low. 18.
18? That's not low.
For he's got plus 13 to perception. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, you get a weird mix of feelings and smells here. If you were to go straight, it feels more musty, more cave-like. To the right, you're smelling something kind of rotten.
Mhm.
And Nira, you can make an Arcana check if you'd like.
That was good. Dirty 20 again.
Dirty 20. There's something magical also coming from that smell of rottenness.
And then the left.
And then the left, you're not getting much from.
Okay. So, rotten smells, or
There might be something magic that way too.
and considering we're likely looking for what I assume is a forge that can create magical weaponry and armaments and all of the in-betweens of that. That would probably be what was the center one again? Sorry. The center information one more time.
The center way smells very musty and very cave-like.
Gotcha. And I would assume that just probably goes deeper into the caves. I would assume that, and I could be wrong, but a forge would be closer to where people live. And if people are dead, they don't smell very good.
They did say 3 levels below in the cavern. So
That is
I'm
true.
thinking more of a cavey, musty smell. Kind of feels like a thing. You
So
know?
the
Do
center.
any of these ways look like they slope down any?
They all slope down.
Of course they do. Why wouldn't they all slope down?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the architecture person. Well, in that case, based off of that, I think like the sort of switches to center for me. What about the rest of you?
I follow where we're going.
I
in this
trust you,
instance.
Kush. So you're the best in these situations. Let's go through the center.
Nira, what about you? Muted.
I'm not. I just leaned away from the microphone. I follow too.
All right, so you choose to go forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
As you step forward down to this cavern that goes, or this tunnel that goes a little further down, it suddenly opens up into a large cavern. And in front of you is an army of undead.
Are they dead or are they, you know?
They're
They
undead.
they are undead.
I just
without-
immediately put out the light. I just kind of like go.
And that is where we're going to end tonight.
Yeah.
Of course.
Great. Cool.
I want to
Yeah,
say, as the
just-
lights go out, you hear Silva say, I don't think I can talk to them this time.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
a wild,
God,
what a
God,
wild
dick suck.
session.
Thank you so much, everyone who watched with us live, everyone who watches on YouTube, everyone who listens to our podcast. We appreciate you and everything that you do for us. We love our community. We will be back next week with a dream journal.
Yeah.
And I will be interviewing our lovely Dani Gage and April Raygun. And I know everybody's been dying to get these two together.
It's
chatting
true.
away, talking magic.
It's true.
So
Talking all that magic.
join us next week for that. And then we'll be back with more episodes. So see you guys then. Bye-bye.
See ya.
My friend, I see you've changed your face. My friend, what game you play today?